Okay, hello, good morning. Let's get started. We're in week 5. Man, it is already May. Okay, so let's work some problems here. Okay, to graph these, you have to get them in slope-intercept form, which they are already in slope-intercept form. And that is y equals mx plus b. Well, your slope is here, and your y-intercept is there. Now I'm going to use two different colors here. The first one I'm going to use my ink pen, and the second one I'll use a marker. So I'm going to go down 2, so that's my y, and then I'm going to go move the negative to the top. So I'm going to go down and then to the right. So down 1 and to the right 2. So this point, or this line, looks like this. Now this line is up 2, so let's use a different color. And then you're going to go move the negative up here. So you're going to go down 3, and then you're going to go to the right 2, and this line looks like this. And where they hit is the answer. So I can tell you that they hit in quadrant 1, 2, 3. They hit in quadrant 4. Now, I'm not sure where they hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down so many. So it looks like it's going to be here, and that's your answer. Now, unless you use graph paper, it's hard to find it, but there's your answer. All right, so today you have a worksheet, and they shouldn't be too hard. So here it is right here, if you want to copy it down. Now let's turn our attention to geometry. Now geometry, we're going to review circles here. So copy down everything you see here. And let's start. All right, so number 1 says given this. So let's graph it first. So put A, -2, up 5. This is point A. And then point B is over 2, up 3. So there's your graph. Now let's draw a right triangle here. It looks like that. You're going from B to A, according to this, B to A. So you're starting here, so put your pencil here, and you're going this way. So count the boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like a -4 because you're going this way. Then you're going up 2. That's a +2 because you're going up. There it is. That's your change in x. That's your change in y. The ratio is 3 to 2. Remember, you got to add these because it's 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 out of 2 going from B to A. So that'd be 1, 2, 3. It's going to be about right here is going to be your answer. 3 out of 2. It's actually 3 out of 5 because you got to add 3 plus 2, which equals 5 parts. Okay, we went over this now. All right, so your formula, you're going to take your first number and put it over your parts. So put 3 over 5 twice. Once you do that, you're going to put your change in x and your change in y right here. And then you're going to go ahead and take your B points, in this case, because you're going from B. You're going to add 2 to your x, because that's your x. And then you're going to add 3 to your y. And I think I have that set up, so be careful with that. What do we get? Put a 1 under here. That gives me a -12 over 5. 5 times 1 plus 2. So let's get our calculator and see where we are. So clear it out, get it out. 12 divided by 5, press equals, and put a negative in front, and then plus 2. I get -0.4. So my answer is almost -0.5, but it's 0.4. And then this one is going to be 3 times 2 is going to be 6 over 5 plus 3. Let's see what that is. So 6 divided by 5, press equals, and then plus 3. I get 4.2. So look at it. Over negative a half, or 0.4, almost a half, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.2. Pretty darn close. And that's how you do partition, and that's what you had last week. Make sure you remember it. I'm going to try to put it on your next test. Okay, copy down the rest of these, because this one right here was cut off. There are 7 formulas, and this is some review for your EOC. Okay, so if you say, when are we going to review for the EOC? We've been doing it. Okay, so look up here. There are 7 formulas. This one right here, number 1, is a central angle. So the angle is equal to the arc. So this arc from here to here is the same as this angle. So put 20 degrees. This one, the angle is half of the arc. So the angle is half of the arc. Well, in order to be 30, this would have to be 60, because 60, half of 60 is 30. Okay, there's the formula. This one's on the outside, so the angle is equal to half of the big arc minus the little arc. Well, the big arc is 50 minus 40 gives you 10, and then half of 10 gives you 5 degrees. And that's how you do that. 5 degrees. Let's keep moving. Okay, there's 7 formulas, and you need to know them right off the top of your head. Look at this one. This one, the angle is, or the angle, the vertex is not the center of the circle, but it's inside the circle. So the angle is half of the sum. You're going to add up the big arc and the little arc. So that's going to be 50 plus 20, which gives you 70, and then half of that is 35. So x, in this case, is 35 degrees. Okay? Some of them you have to work backwards. They give you the angle and you have to work backwards. This one right here, it's segments. So you follow the line. These two you multiply together. So x times 4 equals 8 times 10. And then you just divide by 4, and whatever you get your answer. 4 goes into 8, 2. 2 times 10 is 20, so you get 20 degrees. And actually, it's not degrees, it's a segment, so it's just plain old 20. 20 inches, 20 feet, whatever. This one is the outside times the whole thing. So outside, number 6. Out times whole. Write that down and memorize it. The whole thing is x plus 4. This one, set it equal to the outside times the whole thing is 15. Now, you're going to have to distribute on this one. So you're going to get x squared plus 4x equals whatever that is. 5 times 5 is 25. It looks like 75. Since this is a square, you got to get it equal to 0, and you're going to have to know how to do the quadratic equation. You're going to subtract 75 to get it equal to 0. And your A is 1, your B is 4, and your C is negative 75. And the formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. These are the tougher ones right here where you get an x squared. They're not all like that, but that's how you would do it. Copy it all down, memorize it. This one right here is the tangent squared. So tangent squared is equal to the outside times the whole thing here is 12. Okay, so you're going to get 4 times 12 is 48, and then you're going to get rid of the square by doing the square root. You don't have to use the quadratic on this one. So you get the square root of 48. This one's easier. So 48 shift square root, and you get 6.9. And those are the 7 formulas you need to know. Let's talk about today's work. Yes, we're doing circles. Copy down everything you see. Let's talk about the top part here. Well, let's think about this a minute. The top part wants to know the arc length. So let's just take a problem here and let's make an angle, and let's call this angle right here 20 degrees. And let's say the radius is 8. Okay, write that down. To get the length of this arc right here, from here to here, okay, it's a fraction of the whole distance around. The distance around is called circumference. So put circumference equals pi times diameter. For this one, you're going to do area of a circle is pi radius squared. Memorize that. So here, what you're going to do is take a fraction of the whole thing. So it's 20 degrees out of 360 degrees times pi times the diameter. The diameter is going to be 8 plus 8 is 16. You multiply all of that and divide by 360. Let's do that so we know. This is on your worksheet today. So take 20 times 3.14 times 16, press equals, divide by 360, and I get 2.8. On this one, you're going to use the same fraction, which is 20 over 360. It's a fraction of the whole circle times pi times the radius squared. The radius is 8, so it's going to be 8 times 8. Let's do this one. We're almost done, and then I'll get you started. So 20 times 3.14 times 8 times 8 is 64, divided by 360, and I get 11.2. And that's how you do it. So remember that area of the sector is the area. So in this case, it would be this right here. That's the area of the sector. This is called the arc length. Okay? Like the curvature of your eye. Copy these two down, and then I'm going to get you started. All right, this one right here is supposed to be a tangent. Remember, it hits the circle at one point. Now, my graph is not real good, but remember, every tangent is 90 degrees to the diameter. This is a diameter. So all you do is Pythagorean's theorem. Color the box, put these together. So it's going to be 10 squared plus 20 squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. And all of this is your hypotenuse. Okay? And you got two of these on your worksheet today. So that's 100 plus 20 times 20, I think, is 400. And then you want to get rid of the square by doing the square root. So it's going to be the square root of 500, whatever that is. So get your calculator, press 500, hit shift, square root. I get 22.4, and that's your answer. Okay? This one right here is a point outside the circle, and these are tangents. And tangents from the same point are equal. So you're going to put 5x minus 2 is equal to 3x plus 16. Now, can you solve it? I'm going to say it again. Tangents from the same point are equal. So these are equal. Now what I would do is subtract 3x from both sides because it's smaller and get 2x minus 2 is equal to 16. Then I would add 2 to both sides and get 2x is equal to 18. And then 18 divided by 2 is going to give you 9. And you're done. And that's how you do it. And today's work is here. Now, I didn't cover quite everything on this worksheet, so you're going to have to try. All right. These are arc length, pi times diameter. And it's going to be a fraction times pi times diameter. This one is area of the sector, so that's going to be a fraction times pi radius squared. This one is going to be Pythagorean's theorem, and so is this one. Okay? All right, that at least gets you started. Have a good morning, and I'll see you in class.